Welcome, class. So today you're going to begin the lion project, and each of you should start off with a few different pieces of paper. You should have 3 yellow pieces of paper, this being the face, this being the body, the tail, and the cabinet, which we'll discuss, a set of eyes. You should have 2 manes for the lion's hair. You'll see 2 orange tails and a pink circle with 2 extra earlobes, one for the picture and one for the definition. Now you need to cut each of those out using this tool right here, a scissor. And if you need, you can also use one of these if necessary, and I can show you where I use that. When you're done cutting them out, you will have this. There's your cabinet, 2 circles, your eyes, there's the face, and I use this right here on this. I just put this right here. This kind of made it like so. So you should have all those items cut out, and later we're going to use this to cut out the nose. Continuing on, you can take your mane into different pieces, that's fine. The 2 pink. The tail, using one of your gold pens, here's your tail, and then you can put it together so it's orange, yellow, orange. And I'll explain what to do with that in a bit. Your 2 arm items, your cabinet, and of course the body. And when you cut the body, make sure you leave this because we're going to need this to fold. So right now I'll start introducing the concepts. We'll start with the face. Having double-sided tape will help. You're going to take this face, you're going to use this point right here in the middle. You're going to use the definition over here and the picture, and you'll notice they line up, okay? Like so. You take your X-Acto knife, and using that point in the middle, you are going to be able to make the nose. The nose is a little high, but it's the only thing that could work. And so we made a mark, and it goes through the pink side as well. Now, with our gold pens, we're going to take this, put it through, it should line up evenly. So when we spin this, we're able to see definition and picture. Definition, picture. Definition, picture. Should line up evenly. Remember, I did this by hand, so it's not exactly perfect. Right now we're going to fold. I'm going to separate this like this. We're going to trace down from his nose. Nose comes down a little bit, and we're going to make a triangle. 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 It should not and does not need to be big. Okay? If you don't have one of these, just use scissors. Okay? I made that. I'm going to make it just a little bigger. This is probably the one part of the project I wish I could have changed, but I haven't figured out another way to do it quite yet. And of course, if you don't have one of these, ask your teacher to help you during class. We'll get to that in a little bit. Right now we're going to use these eyes, okay? But if your teacher has them provided, you can use googly eyes as well. Googly eyes. Googly eyes. So I'll put some double-sided tape. Put that right there. Double-sided tape. Right over here. And now I'm looking for some regular tape. Not double-sided, but I'm looking for some regular tape. Because we're going to put the main down, and I forgot about this regular tape. Remember, we have the mouth, we have the two eyes, we have the nose. Thank you. Wonderful assistant, Vanna White. Let's see. Now we're going to take our mane, and our mane should not overlap these ears. Okay. So we're going to have to trim it some, and that's okay. Take out our scissors. Might have to just cut just a little bit. That's okay. Nothing has to be perfect. Alright. So I can see this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. So I can see that's kind of getting in the way. I'm going to make like a J shape. Kind of a C shape right there. And hopefully that helps free up some of that area. And so I can still see the picture, and I can see the definition, and that's my end goal. So now, using regular tape, fold that back a little. I'm going to put this here. And the reason I don't use double-sided is I don't want it to stick to the pink circle. And you can see it's starting to come together. So I can see the head of a government and the leader of a country is the chief of state. Turning the wheel, the leader of the armed forces is and that's the picture hint. And here we're going to write the answer, the actual commander-in-chief. I'll write that in a second. It looks like the mane kind of went up. Remember, you can always trim a little. If you want it to be more exact. Now we're going to end up taking this. We can't put the mane straight through because that's going to cover that up. So we're going to cut it up into pieces and put it through here like this. Using we're just using regular tape, tira regular. Alright? I'm going to keep this mouth area open. you're like me, you want to get it just right. So it covers it up, but we can still see the picture. And remember, we can take this to help make our area just a little more exact. I'll get to that in a second. Right now we need to cover this. So I'm going to cut this area down here. Hopefully I didn't cut too much. And this goes below the chin. And so it's starting to look more like a lion, which is exactly what we were going for. And we should still be using normal tape, because this will not stick and hurt the pink, which is spinning around. Just a small piece of double right there so it doesn't affect the pink. Now you're probably wondering, what do we do with, trim this, because I want to be able to see my picture fully, and over here I can see it pretty well. So we have those two things put away. Remember, if you don't have googly eyes, you're welcome to use these. Right now I'm trying to fix this tape. It broke. The next part that we're going to construct, we're just doing the construction right now, is the body. You take the body, which we cut out. Remember, we left these. You need those. We fold these. This is going to help our lion stand up. And as my good friend and colleague says, we're making the lion and his wardrobe. Our new president is famous for being orange. This lion has an orange mane. He's unpredictable and animalistic. And he is currently picking his cabinet. Oh, sorry, did I say that in that video? Sorry. We take the cabinet and we're going to fold it just like this. It's already been measured, just for extra benefit. We'll fold another piece just like this. And so we know where the middle of the cabinet is. Likewise, we're going to take the questions. I want to make sure that they're trimmed well. Use our double set of tape. Some right there. Some right there. told we want to make sure we crease well, because I didn't put that on exactly correctly. We take the lion, this goes in the bottom half. Somebody asked me, teacher, why is the cabinet near his butt? I don't know, I said. Maybe they had to kiss his butt to be in the cabinet. So that's why I put it right there. We are going to take this guy right here. I accidentally gave you the answer. Points, judges. This is how, these are the two main weapons of the lion, and this is how they can demonstrate checks and balances. So, and of course, being OCD, I want to trim this up. So I want it to be pretty. This here. Uh-oh. Let's see. Gotta make this fit. Alright, this is the way it can check the judicial branch. The next arm, the way it can swing, is how it checks the legislative branch. And remember, it can veto a bill. And that's ultimately what you have written, is veto a bill. Sorry, this is the teacher version, so I accidentally wrote the answer. For all the teachers that don't know about the veto power, let's see. No, I know you guys do. So we have that. And I did forget one crucial step. Just so I can label my thought processes. You know, maybe on a later version, I'll put this into like a little paw print or something, but kind of ran out of time. Learn about the cabinet. We're going to do the content work in a second. Right now, remember, we're just constructing. You know, sometimes just having the opportunity to do these projects allows for some downtime, students to get acclimated to the class, procedures, routines. And so personally, I don't mind having a good chunk of time set aside for setup, as long as the main and end goal is to have quality content within the project, and the project can be used as a study resource for students who are preparing for their test. So finally, I showed you, we take the pieces for the tail, we put one of these gold pins right here, and we can put the three, and we're going to end up writing something in there. I haven't fully decided what. Because the lion is going to be standing up, I want the tail to be outward so we can see it. So the tail actually has to be down. We could put some double, but ultimately we're going to be using some normal tape, which I'm going to go see if I can get some more normal tape, because this ripped. I'm going to be putting this down so the tail can stick out well. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. my dream. I love doing curriculum design. I love stuff like this. So there we go. So it's not perfect, but you get the picture. We have the tail now sticking out. We have these things which serve as holding the feet up. Good. And this is from an aerial viewpoint. Let's see if I can do this. And that is what the side view looks like. That's a pretty cool angle. Looks like a little hovercraft. Okay. Now let's go back to the face of the lion. I forgot to do one crucial thing, and I apologize. But over here, let's see, Chief of State. Ears are supposed to be pink, right? And so it says picture hint. Take my double-sided tape. Right there. If it's too big, I can trim it, which I might end up doing. As long as I can see it, it's good. And now I need my definition to go right there. I am going to end up trimming this one because it's kind of lopsided. People get inspired in the most unusual places. I actually went to my son's friend's birthday party, saw a little lion, and then this idea came to my mind. And all of the analogies and everything fell into place. So here, students have this lion face as a study guide. You can see that it says picture hint and definition. And here, I know the mouth is small. That's the one area I wish I could have changed. They're going to be answering, hey, who is the head of the government and the leader of a country? They can use the picture hint, but the idea is that they know it's the chief of state. So, using my pen, I'm going to write, and it is small, I'm going to write chief of state. And so answer number one is chief of state. And I'll write it right here. Chief of state. Chief of state. I'm going to do a better job with my handwriting on the next one. Pick it up. Spin it to the right. Who is the leader in the armed forces? Here's the picture hint. This is George Bush with some members of the military. We know that answer is Commander in Chief. Commander in Chief. And the reason the mouth has to be so small is you'll see they're still really close together. So it may seem like, oh, we should have just made it bigger. There's not that much room underneath. Maybe a little bit bigger would have been okay. I'm going to rotate it to the right. Who is the leader of a political party? And then I have a donkey and a Democrat, which are the U.S. two major parties. A donkey and an elephant, rather. And then who is the leader of the party? The president is, and we call that role specifically the chief of party. Chief of party. Good. Moving forward. Who influences public policy and lawmaking? Here's a picture of JFK signing a bill into Congress, a bill into law, and we call him the chief legislator. The chief legislator. And you know, if one of the teachers wanted you to just do abbreviations, I think that'll be fine. Representative of the citizens. And I love this picture. It's Barack Obama with his family, looking like the all-American family that they are. Good representative for us all. We call them chief citizen. Chief citizen. Chief citizen. To help you spell that correctly, chief citizen. This is where I get worried that my circle didn't work out perfectly. Leader of the executive branch. What is the leader of the executive branch called? I've seen it a few different things in textbooks, but we're going to go with the term chief administrator. Chief administrator. I'm just going to put admin. And just like a school has administrators as their leaders. Meets and interacts with leaders of other countries. Here's a picture of George Bush meeting with, it looks like the King of Saudi Arabia, and we know him as the chief diplomat. That's his role. Diplomat. Okay. We've done chief of state, commander-in-chief, chief of party, chief legislator, chief citizen, chief administrator. I've also heard chief executive, and then chief diplomat. And those are the 7 roles. Now, just for kinesthetic purposes, I'm going to put this down here. And you're right, maybe I should have made it just a little bit. That's what I'm going with. Let's jump over here to the body. We open up the body. I already told you, veto a bill. The president can veto a bill written by Congress, and that is their power of how they can attack or check the legislative branch. And over here, they can check the judicial branch because they can appoint judges. They can appoint judges. So now let's learn about the cabinet. You could put a piece of Velcro here if you want, so it's a little bit more interactive as you open it. What is the president's cabinet? Who can tell me what the president's cabinet is? Who can remember? You are correct if you said The cabinet is a group of advisors who serve as experts to run the executive branch. How many executive cabinet positions are there? Hopefully you remember that there's 15. What is the expert in charge of each department called? They're called a secretary. Secretary. What are 3 important departments? Department. Secretary of State. Department of Justice. There's 15 of them. So, Department of Commerce. There's tons of them. Department of Treasury, Department of Justice. Alright, in your opinion, what is the most important department and why? And I gave you a sentence frame. I want to see everybody have a different answer. I'm going to say the Department of Treasury. If I knew how to spell it. T-R-E-A. Well, that's embarrassing. I'm going to say the Department of Defense. Because it protects our country. And then I'm going to put a smiley face so I can remember I don't know how to spell. We fold this back up. We just learned about the cabinet. I am going to write a reflective question along with my colleagues. We're going to come up with something very difficult for you to write right here. Maybe a question. And then you can write the answer. But I want everybody to know this lion is not just a lion project. It's the executive branch. Article 2. The executive branch. And that's what we learned about. I'm going to put your name, date, and period right here. Name, date, period. And hopefully that helps keep us organized a little bit. It's really important you don't lose your work. The last step, which I will show you in person, I'm afraid I might not be able to do it perfectly well, is we're going to end up above the mouth so the pink can still rotate. We're going to end up, you can staple, you can use a popsicle stick, but you have to somehow, we have to attach these two pieces together. And so, yes, it will have a big head and a smaller body, but this in all turns out to be your wonderful and beautiful lion project. I hope you had a roaring good time making this, and I promise I will not say any more cheesy jokes that you guys probably don't even understand. Alright, have a good day.